Morning, sunshine. Hey, The only thing I think for
I think
and number of people wanting to get out of they're showing offers.
Okay.
Like need a text for that golden letter for someone that all the offers all I mean, the first 5 to 9. So, yeah, my price is really nice.
Yes. And then we shut them on Friday. That one, donate to what one thing. They left it to loan off. I think every time I come in, you love your color.
And well, it's.
Everybody seen this puppy up here? Yes. Has everybody seen this puppy up here? It's the cutest dog I've ever seen in my life. I'm glad you had the cutest baby you've ever seen in your life. And then you have the cutest puppy you've seen. I don't know what's coming next week. I don't know. Hard to talk about. Good morning. All right.
You saving the seat?
Are we ready with a?
I was just looking around. I can sit here just in case you come.
Everybody. Everybody, yeah.
What?
You guys said you first. You come on camera now, like, she looks really cute. When there's no way I'm like a player.
I know. All Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's start real quick with some gratitude and with some chat north effect moments. Who's got something for us?
Thank you.
I do.
Yeah. I wanted to shout out Todd Barrett and the roof butler because while my mom was out of town, we had a bad inspection, something with the roof. The buyer was claiming it's on our listing that the whole roof needed to be replaced, and Todd got someone there in like 20 minutes and confirmed that it did not at all need to be replaced, and it was like $1,100 worth of little repairs.
Wow.
Thank you.
Nice job. Good job. I know it's not here.
He might be getting a big.
I already thanked him earlier.
That is fantastic. $1,100 versus $15,000 or $20,000. That is
good.
amazing. Or a dead deal, right?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Way to go, Todd. Yes, Lucy.
I have a cheers for Heather.
Okay.
Javier. He's just really stepped up. Kind of leadership role with family, but it's. Got you.
I want to give a shout out to Brian and Diane Devers, because this is my big one. Everybody does a football one, but I'm a baseball guy, so a lot of things around baseball marketing. And he's got me kicked off before everybody else. So
Love it. Nice.
Todd's here.
Hi there.
Well, you know, Todd here.
You got a shout out.
You got a shout out. Yeah, from Nina.
For me, thank you.
Yes, Marianne.
I just wanted to thank everybody who came out to the FMX at Lunch and Learn last week and the calls and texts and emails I've gotten since. And allowing us to be able to help everybody get more listings and get sellers more money. So
Yeah.
thank you for the opportunity and thanks for letting me do it.
Love it. Love it. Nice. All right, one more. Yes, right.
For Aaron, thank you for hosting the open house with me this weekend. It's always good to have a lender there to, be able to talk about that, because we're not the experts in it. And help build some type of rapport with the buyers there.
Yes, nice. Great job, great job. All right, we have got a very full plate today, so we have a breakfast sponsor real quick. We have a breakfast sponsor real quick. Yes, there she is. All right, tell us who you are, floor covering.
All righty, good morning, everyone. I was actually here about a few months ago. You may or may not remember me, but we're now an official preferred vendor for you guys, and we're really excited about it. So we're a floor covering, we're at Floor Coverings International. We provide all types of flooring materials for, for both residential and commercial properties. And we also provide installation services, so we're a true turnkey solution for all of your flooring needs. So what I want to talk to you about is how is flooring relevant to you guys as real estate agents? It's very relevant. As you know, when you're selling your house, when you have clients that are selling the house or they're buying the house, a lot of the times the flooring needs to be updated, right? And so we want to talk you through that a little bit. First of all, why choose us? Other than the fact that we're your preferred vendor, why choose us? We're a true mobile showroom. We bring over 3,000 samples to customers' homes. We're turnkey, we're very convenient, okay? There's no other mobile showrooms like us. Nobody has 3,000 samples. We talked about turnkey solution. We provide materials and we provide installation. If you have a customer that already bought the materials and wants installation, we'll do that. If you have if you have a customer that needs already has an installer and needs materials, we can do that. So either or. Maximizing home selling price, as you are aware, right? I deal with a lot of customers who are trying to sell their houses, and a lot of times they don't want to spend money, right? They don't want to spend money updating the floors. But guys, when you have soil, carpet, bad flooring, you're not gonna maximize the sales price, right? We can provide that solution for you. You don't have to break the bank. We've got super, super low cost value carpet options, flooring options that can beautify homes, and you can really maximize sales prices that way. So don't worry about prices. I know customers are really scared about spending too much money before they sell their house, but talk about the ROI, maximizing your sales price, okay? Home buyer convenience, for those that are buying homes, right? A lot of the times when you're buying your home, they want their own flooring in there. Maybe they don't want that builder grade carpet that's in that home, right? They want to make it their own. Maybe they want to put solid hardwoods. Maybe they want to put more plush carpet. Maybe they want to put tiles in the kitchen, right? So we provide that convenience. If you have a customer that is looking to buy a house and they don't like the flooring and they want to talk to an expert, we're the person, okay? Craftsmanship installation. There's a lot of flooring companies out there. There's a lot of flooring installers out there, but not all of them are good, okay? A lot of times we hear customers that are using installers, contractors, they pay professional fees for amateur installation, okay? We're true experts, okay? We cherry pick the best of the industry, okay? Their craftsmanship, very different from installers, okay? Our installers care about the work that they do, the workmanship. That's very, very important. You don't want an installer to come in here and just lay floors. You want to make sure the subfloor is done correctly, the foundation is done correctly, so you have beautiful floors that's going to last 10, 15, 20 years, okay? Lastly, 5-star experience. We take pride in the fact that we're not only the top rated flooring company in North America, but this branch right here down the street from you guys, we're the top branch in Georgia. Why? Because we deliver the best customer experience. We have the highest customer satisfaction ratings, and we're the best value. People think if you're that great, you're a 5-star company, you must be super expensive, and they get very intimidated. We are the best value. We beat out Home Depot. Think about that. Home Depot is not a luxury brand, okay? Home Depot is not. But when they offer free installation, they do that, well, guess what? We outbid them. How can we outbid a company that provides free installation because they're so stream? So all I want to let you know is, hope you enjoyed your breakfast this morning. We're probably going to be here a little bit more often throughout the year. We look forward to working with each and every one of you. You guys all have a door hanger in front of you. It has our phone number, it has our website address. Please check us out. We'd love to work with all of you, and you have our contact information, and hope you have a wonderful week, and hope you guys kill it out there. Jenny Hong, sorry, I forgot my name. My name is Jenny Hong. I'm your friend. Yeah. But you have our office numbers on the door hanger. See you.
Thank you for breakfast.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Let's leave that in there. We're gonna squeeze this in. Little change of event here. All right, who's taking notes on their sheets of your listings taken, of your contracts written? Of your circles? How many circles have you circled in the last couple weeks? Good. All right. What is the biggest prize you can win at the end of the year?
Cap, $15,000.
Full cap, right? Is this a prize worth getting?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's the second prize? A whole year of office. What's the third prize?
$1,000.
Are those prizes worth getting?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't care if you have 25 circles on there, that still qualifies you to be entered into the drawing. So this is all worthwhile to be able to keep going for this prize, right? So don't forget, and at the end of, you'll see the charts, somebody walked in the other day, I was like, what is this? Well, this is this. We're keeping track, LB is keeping track of them, but it's at the end of the month, so it's not updated, so you guys keep track of yours. And at the end of the month, we have them all on the walls, updated, and she's doing that on her end. So on her end, it's not updated until it's in command, just so you know. And at the end of the month. And at the end of the month. So if there's a discrepancy, don't freak out, it all washes out in the end. But that's why there might not be tit for tat, right, on your sheet versus the wall. Okay, so calm down. take
So
it
on
easy.
the first of the month, come into a little celebration, because all your dots will show up.
All your dots will catch up.
Checks and ballot systems, that you need to
That's
check your dots also, so that when you see them on the board, you
Yeah,
can look at it, oh, well, what did I not turn in?
and what is not in command? Hello, right? Get it updated in command. All right. Oh, Kelly, yes. One of us, anybody on leadership, actually.
What was the
You
question?
can, who are we texting for the recruiting, right? So if you have a name, so Dallas this morning texted me a name, what did he then earn?
Triangle, 3 blue.
One
I got
triangle
3 blue.
or 3 blue.
Yes. So when you refer a recruit, that earns you a triple circle, right?
That's where you go over here and you color in your triangle.
Your triangle.
And then at the end, we count it, we say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 16, 19, and go from there.
That's right.
So the triangle is more of the 3.
Now, how many triangles?
You can earn it, and if you run out of space, you can add a triangle. Keep on. And that's right. And if it's KW, you don't get profit share. However, if it's not KW, you get profit share. So it still works. Yes, madam.
They don't have to join the office, you just have to introduce them.
That's right, that's right. It's not your job to recruit them, it's your job to introduce them, right? That's right. That's right. Any other questions?
And it's okay to give her so.
He texted me at 11:45 last night. I didn't see it until this morning.
No.
Is it okay to give your cell number? Yes, it's okay to give my cell number. Thank
I
you.
was like, here's the office number and her email. I'm gonna try and find her cell phone number. 1 second.
He has my cell phone number, and all of you should too. So. Okay, Kelly, yes, ma'am.
Maxine.
Yes, good morning, not actually today, I am Maxine Desire with O'Kelly and Sorgan. I sit in the bilingual center and help out with Peachtree Corners and the Duluth office, okay? In celebration of love, my tip today is about name changes, right? We typically see a name change in the marriage, and on the title side, if there is a name change. We're getting there, we're getting there. Start happening. Title side, what we typically need is just proof, whether that is a marriage license or some type of court order, could be a divorce. And then we just need proof of the name change in the form of an ID, okay? Driver's license works, passport works just as well, okay? On the buyer side, if it isn't a divorce, it complicates things a little bit more, but we still need to verify that name. All they would need to do in order to establish that name change is at the closing, they're gonna be signing an affidavit. And that affidavit is either gonna be an AKA, also known as, or a FKA, a formally known as affidavit, which is a sworn statement, okay? So we need proof of the name change, whether a license or an order from the court, and then we need a copy of their ID. Okay, lately I've gotten a few calls about temporary driver's license as a proof of ID at the closing, and yes, we can accept those. But just keep in mind that a passport is just as valuable as a driver's license to us. So if they do have a temporary driver's license and they have a passport that matches up, just bring the passport. If not, we can use the temporary DMV issued temporary ID, okay, until that ID comes in. All right, besides that, we are having our Valentine's Day celebration today. We have flowers, candies, donuts, so please stop by next door and grab a bit. Union happy hour is gonna be on Sunday at 7 p.m. Okay, House of Blues, it's gonna be a great time, so stop on in to see us.
Thank
Thank y'all. Happy Valentine's Day. I forgot to be Valentine's.
I obviously did not forget when I was baby. I was in a very loving mood when
Very good.
Good morning, Matt is in the office working on some contracts, so Aaron and I are here today. I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, everybody, quick rate update, not a whole lot to report. We had CPI info data come out this morning, not amazing, so the markets did open down a bit for rates. And if you're aware, we were pushing up last week, we're sitting at about 6.8, 6.9, somewhere in there right now. So really the biggest news is the expectation, as we've been kind of talking about, has pushed out for when the Fed will make that first cut. No longer does anyone expect March, probably more likely May or June. But again, they're gonna keep their eye on that data. If we keep having stuff come in that's a little stronger, who knows? But there are also, keep in mind, and I've kind of talked about this on Friday on the call too, like keep in mind that there are some changes and adjustments to how they calculate data that always happen in January. So sometimes both the labor numbers we saw and now the CPI numbers, there could be a little underlying differences there. So we'll kind of keep our eye on everything, but that's kind of where we are right now, fairly steady.
And with all that being said, I think, to do and to talk about is recasting, so we did mention that a few months ago, but if you do have a client that wants to buy before they sell their current residence, we have a recast option that costs $275. All they have to do is wait 60 days from closing, so if they want to purchase without selling their current primary, the recast is they have to put more than $5,000 down toward the principal loan balance. The cost is $275, but it restructures their monthly payment. So if their current monthly payment is $3,000 and they put an extra $100,000 down towards the principal balance after they sell their current residence, their new monthly payment would then be whatever the difference is based on the same rate. So they're not having to pay to refinance to lower their monthly mortgage payment. So
Is there a deadline on that? Can you do, is it like within 2 years or can you do that anytime throughout the loan time?
whenever you want.
You can do it, I think it's once a year, like you can do it multiple times. So
So
if
if
you
I
get something
came into a lot of
inherited or
money-
something 3 years later, yeah, you can do it again. Pretty cool.
So you can keep your awesome interest rate and lower your payment with cash.
Is it 60 days or 2 payments?
60 days.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, pretty cool. One thing quick I'll note, the coffee talk next Monday is President's Day, so when Patsy and I scheduled that, we did not go do that. So we are still gonna do it, but it's gonna be Zoom only. So please come, but just so you know, we won't be here with donuts. Thanks, y'all.
All better, I'm feeling better this week.
Yeah. And I kept thinking, if I looked like that when I had the flu.
I told Erin, I was like, I had to feel a little like,
Little shitty.
I couldn't look like a total troll, so anyway. But I'm much better, thank you, my whole household had it, so I'm better.
Moving into spring where everybody's not sick. Anyway, good morning, my name is Tessa of Insurance Group. Just one thing that I've noticed this week that I wanted to bring up, there's a new thing kind of happening with several of my carriers and other like State Farm, Allstate. One of the biggest losses in home insurance are roofs. Which roof stuff happens, but one of the things that the insurance companies are doing to counteract these losses are they are raising deductibles up. So I'm seeing more and more a standard, instead of like a $2,500 or $5,000 deductible, it's either 1% or 2% of coverage A, which is the dwelling coverage. So I mean, if you have a $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 house, a 1% wind and hail deductible is pretty hefty deductible. So it's just something to kind of keep an eye on. And if someone does present to me with a high deductible, I can explore other insurance carrier options that don't have those requirements. So just little things that a lot of homeowners don't notice. The standard deductible might be $2,500 and that would cover water, non-weather related damages, but wind and hail, 1%, 2% deductible could be a make or break it situation for some people. So anyhow, hope everyone's doing well and yes.
That may match to that 1 or 2%. State Farm will send out a renewal and not tell you that they're changing the deductible.
Yeah.
Then all state loan, and that's why.
No one
those-
tells you.
Those two companies are just terrible right now.
Yeah,
So-
most carriers don't tell you, and so every year when I have a client's policy come up for renewal, we review it 45 days out. And so if I see a deductible is increased, it's something I'm going to bring up, ask, are you comfortable with this? Would you like for me to shop it to see if we can get you in a more comfortable, zone for deductibles? So it's important to take note of the little stuff. So anyway, happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. All right, amazing Sam and Lucy.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Right.
Do you want me to hand off the
Yeah.
liquor?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we are, I can't believe it, like a few days at this point before Fin Reunion. So this is the point where like command gets really, really fun because we stopped working on it finally, leading into the big event. So what I want to share with all of you is we have a couple of updates before Fin Reunion, and I'm sure that once we come back from Fin Reunion, there's going to be a bunch, and I'm super excited from what they teased with us. So I just want to run through some of the things that we have in command. These are all things that are now, well, I'm going to share with you two things that are shared in general availability, meaning that they're available now inside of command when you log in. And then we have things that are kind of on the pipeline that should be released before Fin Reunion.
Sam, I'm gonna take over that mouse for just a second and share the screen with everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll give it right back.
So this is a really interesting one. You may have noticed when you log into command now, that if you go through command email, you're gonna see, you click on it.
There you go.
You may see a status now inside of your mail that says good, needs improvement, or action required. We actually had a few people, and I mean really a few people inside of all of Keller Williams that kind of abused their email. So now there's like an email jail inside of command. So if you see this status in which you're like, I've never seen this thing before, why does it say I'm good inside of my command? Just know that you're in the majority of people. If by some chance you see this needs improvement or action required, please let me know, because you're probably like 20 people in all of KW that have this issue. But I want to make you aware, because it actually does require you to go through like a special training. It's like if you were to like be a super speeder and you have to get your driver's license again, it's a big deal. The gist of this is basically like some of the major email providers such as like Google and Yahoo, they have updated their servers, and now it's actually harder to get inside of inboxes. Luckily through Command, we have all the things from compliance, and people broke that, and now we have this like weird status thing. So if you ever get in trouble, let me know, we can just resolve. But if you see that green, good, you're good, just don't be surprised that it's there. Yeah, and I'll leave that, but
Quick question.
Yeah.
What was the issue though? What was the abuse, if you don't mind sharing?
so some people were just spamming, is what it came down to. They were just sending out crap to people they weren't supposed to. Not that we know anyone receive anything. This is a little minor tweak. So for those of you that are familiar with like neighborhoods inside of Command, we have the functionality to add as many neighborhoods as we want to contact. Previously, there was like 5 that would show, and then you have a button that says see more, and you couldn't see what was inside to see more. So they just expanded to where like you can actually see how many neighborhoods you have there. I'm not actually a huge fan of this update. If you're putting so many of these in, you need to see more buttons, stop adding neighborhoods. I really recommend put 3 to 5 in here, because otherwise I think you're not actually putting value. So for those of you that disagree with me and my style, you have the ability to see as many as you want, but I would recommend probably still stay with 5.
Sam,
Yes.
so if you have more than one neighborhood attached to a contact, when they get the reports,
Yeah.
do they get a separate report for each neighborhood?
Yeah, so they get one email that it will go through each of those reports in a single, like it's a vertical report, if you will. So it'll show like White Isles, and then below that it'll show River Ridge, and below that it'll show the next one. So if you have 15 of those, it's gonna be probably the world's, it's gonna be like a CVS receipt version of the email. That's why I recommend don't go too far. But yeah, if you go that route, you can.
Well, and an email, if it's too long, it won't show you the whole email.
Yeah.
You have to click on it and open a folder with the tab, so.
Yep, it's a cool update. So this is probably not a wildly used thing, but it's also in there now. Basically, we have this thing called collections on our websites. They basically moved it from KWLS to the listings tab. Actually, I got that backwards. They moved it. Now I'm confused. They moved it from consumer to listings. So yeah, this was inside of consumer, and now it's inside of listings. This is one of those sleeper tools. I really want to stress about it. Not too big there. There's a new Command app. So you may have to check your app store. There's a couple new features. One of the things I'm going to show on the next screen here on the desktop, but they now have a QR scan to capture contacts. So this is a little bit different of like when you scan my QR code and you get my information. This is a scan my QR and actually steal your, not steal, I capture your. The goal here is that I'm actually downloading your information. So it's actually kind of puts us in some of the, like the Blinkist type of third-party apps that we have here. But this is gonna be great for those of you going to family reunion, or for those of you that are doing building marketing prospecting, it's a great way to capture information.
That was big last year. I remember everybody was like, let me see your QR code. Where's your QR code? And I'm like, do you want a Richard card?
Yeah.
So,
Well, and like, who remembers the OG, like, we used to have this on the Kelly app, and there were
Oh,
people
yeah.
that, like, there was a contest that had like a giant billboard essentially did like, where with them, like, they didn't stand, it's the dumbest thing, but
Yeah.
this is actually really helpful. Yeah, I like that feature, and then, another really, really cool thing, this is live. You will now see inside of Command that we have a tab, or excuse me, a column that says, these are your most active contacts. So these are the people who are interacting with like your searches, these people who are logging into your websites, these people who are searching around on your app. But basically, you now have an additional column that says, these are people who are actually playing around with your technology on a regular basis now. The cool thing that I love about this is you have the ability to actually hide people from this as well. So I'm constantly logging in and I'm like, oh, there's that looky loo who's been on in my site for like years. You can hide them if you want to. Or if there's like a spouse or another agent who's on your stuff, you can get rid of them. You can hide them if you want. And okay, there we go, that's it. Cool, yeah.
The QR code that you said we can get information, how do we
Under contacts,
Yeah, the contacts.
and then the 3 little dots at the top right. click and it'll say QR.
Sam,
Yes.
if you ever have the opportunity to suggest something, can you suggest that they allow people to export a PNG of that QR code? Lots of agents want to use their command QR codes on printed material,
I agree.
but they send us a screenshot of it.
Very low quality.
It's not able, so we're only able to like rebuild some fields in a third-party QR code app. So if you ever get the opportunities to suggest that, that'd be great.
All right, I'll share a secret with y'all and I'll get in trouble with the recording, but I'm okay with it. There is a website, a super secret website called superuserideas.kw.com. There is an ideas.kw.com that we all share. There's a secret one called Super User Ideas. That'd be a great way. So I'll post it in there for you. That's the one that actually gets looked at. Cool. And I'm waiting for like the last people to beat me up right.
I
I'm like, how fast can that one go?
Yeah, good. And vote on things there, please, especially because that's really what they're looking at right now. Yeah, that's right. And I think the key thing is, yes, get printing materials, but also I would probably just make this your screen background because it's a heck of a lot easier at family reunion.
Yeah.
To just pull out your phone, hit your button, and then that be there versus pull your phone, log in and hit the buttons. Yeah, do it that way. Michelle.
Great idea.
So when you have that and somebody scans it, you get their data, it automatically goes into command.
Yeah.
Does it automatically tag it? Like, how are you gonna find that person?
Not yet. So this would be by date created, would probably be the best way. So if I come back from family reunion, I'm probably gonna look at date created and then go clean up afterwards.
Updated or something.
Yep.
And if you have a team account, which profile does it go into?
What's that say?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess it's probably personal.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna steer you wrong.
Thank
I'll
you.
find out.
that's what it is.
Sorry.
No, that's a great question. Yes.
All right, thank you, guys. All right, Enrique.
Good morning.
I'm passing the baton left or right here.
We'll be quick in 5 minutes, right?
What? Too good.
Yeah. One of the reasons, we have a reunion coming up, one of the reasons I go there is because I like to look at the vision speech and they talk about the numbers. And that kind of sets me for the following year because it goes into a deep dive into what the numbers did and why this and why that. And, I mean, everything makes sense, right? And then I can come back home after that speech, but of course we stay and we go through the rest of the day, but that's my thing. So let me show you the stats for January, right? So, and it's interesting because there isn't a whole lot to tell, it's just where we're starting the year, right? So let me take a look at the next slide, if you don't mind. So this is what happened nationwide, right? We went up 7.9% year over year. And we're starting right here, you see the little dot right there versus last year and the prior year's pandemic and all of that, right? How does that contrast with your MMO reports that you just got? If you haven't looked at them, well, here you have it, right? Active inventory is up by 6% year over year. And active inventory is slightly up month over month by 0.04. Now, how are we comparing to the overall nationwide stats? Similar, right? We're kind of following the same pattern, right? Next slide, if you don't mind. Total listing count, this is everything. This is everything that is active and pending, right? We're slightly, actually 6.5% higher than last year and slightly below what 2021 did. And obviously 2022 and 2020. But if you look at the total listing count year over year for the metro area, we're down by 3.8%. So in that regard, we're not keeping up with the national stats, right? Now we're up month over month, 12%, 12.5% actually. Now, what does that mean? And it's gonna make sense a little further along, but it's actually the fact that we have less properties going pending. You'll see that in a second. Next slide, if you don't mind. Look at the pending sales and how we're down compared to the national average of 2.6% year over year. We're down by 9.8% in the metro area. Okay? And I'll tell you why in just a second. Pending sales are up 12% from December to January. So we had a better January than December, but overall, we're down 9.8%. Next slide. Newly listed homes, we're keeping track with last year. Nationwide, 2.8% higher, and we are 11.4% higher than last year. So that's good news. We're having more inventory, and we're up from December 67.6%. So what's the issue? We're not pricing properties right. They're not only pending. As a matter of fact, our price reduction number is really, really high. I want you to go take a look at the MMO, because it's not gonna be here, but you're gonna see the contrast, and it's huge. So what do I see when I see those numbers? Opportunity. What am I looking at? I'm seeing a lot of expires and a lot of withdrawals coming down the pipeline. So pay attention. If you haven't been making the calls, if you haven't been talking to expires and withdrawals, this is your opportunity, right? Next slide, if you don't mind. Days on market. Minus 4 days, 69 days, year over year, nation stats. Minus 4 days, which is 41 days, which is actually good. In other words, if you have listed property, you have priced it right, we would have sold it below the national average, right? Days on market are up month over month, up to 9 days from to 41 from last month, which is 28%. And let me see the last slide. I think that's it. The median list price. And this is a question I keep being asked. The prices are down, right? No, they're not. However, and this is the dangerous, I don't want to use the word aggressive with your pricing, because we're not in that type of market, but you have to price your houses smartly. Meaning, what is it gonna take to get this property sold in the least amount of time? What is, and look at your brackets, right? Look at if you're listing something, if the values there are 500, I'm better off listing it at 475 or 485, so I can generate multiple offers, right? So do that strategy. And I think that is my last slide, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, and that's all I have for you guys.
You just said everything that we've been seeing on the Friday at the call. We see inventory going up, but pendings are down so low.
Exactly.
And wasn't I shocked last Friday when I saw 246 price reduction? I was like, dang, y'all, I thought we were back from pricing it too high. Because interest rates rose last year, we had lots of price reductions, right? A lot of people were on the market longer, and we saw that trending down quite a bit throughout the year. And then I saw them pop back up again, and I was like, what is happening? Well, there's your answer.
Well, and I want you to look at your MMOs, some of you are not looking at them, right? But if you actually see there, and I'll give you a hint here, the price reduced share is 14.7% nationwide. If you look at your month over month or year over year on your MMOs, in some cases we're at 50%.
Wow, I mean, that's shocking.
Exactly, so that is not pricing the property correct, it's minor.
We're looking good, we're in a beauty contest or anymore, it goes in a matter of moments.
Exactly.
But if it's priced too high, we have this price reduction happening again, so study your thought, thank you, sorry to interrupt, I just thought, like I was shaking my head the whole time.
It makes sense, right? There you go.
What I find is interesting is that it's the same message, right? It's like, we're back to the basics. Again, pricing the house right, pricing and knowing the conversation to be able to have with our clients. So, and I had cards up here that, and we just don't have time to do them, is having objection conversations to be able to know how we're addressing our clients at the appointments. And I actually role played that this morning with one of my coaching clients, and we did just that. How well are we able to have our conversations with our clients when they're like, my neighbor sold for X, and that's what I want to price it at? How confident are we? Because he said, I really want to concentrate on listings. I really, really want to get more listings. I said, okay, well, where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? How comfortable are you with that? He goes, oh, I'm pretty comfortable. Okay, great, let's role play. It's like, okay. And he wasn't able to verbalize the value that he had to be able to do that. And I kept objecting about interest rates and my neighbor priced this and he was like, he goes, yeah, okay, fine, I give up. I said, well, I wonder if that's where we should start. I wonder if we should start with having a better conversation with ourselves. Did you guys see, I know it went real fast with Enrique's calendar, that there's a daily role play conversation every day to be able to get better at your conversation? Did you guys know that?
And if you're not taking advantage of that, you're missing out.
Did you know?
You're talking about game show?
Game show, every day, there is a role play conversation, and did you know that that's what I attribute? Most of my success in my business is knowing how to have a better conversation and doing that every single day without fail.
It will get you out of your comfort zone. for
It
sure.
will absolutely be uncomfortable.
You will sweat.
Disclaimer, you will get, okay, I gotta go change my clothes, right? You will get sweaty, you will get clammy, and you will be very uncomfortable. I made her do it.
Before, when Dina was my maps coach, before we both had
Yeah.
the joy of being here today, she would make me do log on and I would turn beet red, and I learned more in
That's
30
right.
minutes than I
That's
did
right.
with 365 days of sitting here.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So if you want to elevate your skill, number one, it comes with conversation and knowing how to have difficult conversations. So if you're not doing that and you're like, I'm not sure why I'm not getting the business, I'm not sure why I'm not converting it, I wonder if that's where you should start.
and
Right.
the link to that is, I put it in the newsletter and it's also on the intranet. So if you want to jump in tomorrow morning, just log on to the intranet. Our time is from 9 to
9 to 9:30.
9:30, and you
Every
click
day.
that link and go in, just mute it.
I don't care what your excuse is, that's where you should start. I don't care what your results are, that's where you should start. I don't care what your objection is, that's where you should start.
And I posted on the Facebook page as well.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
myself a note.
Because that will change your business 100%. And I'm here to say that's what changed mine. All right, we're gonna jump into MMOs and we're gonna go pretty quick. You guys tell me if there is a slide that you want us to go to. Because sometimes it's one that speaks more to you. And Enrique did a really great job of looking at last year versus this year's. Is there a way to take off the?
Oh, I'm sorry, I won't do that. I don't know what was there.
Oh, there it is. Okay, this is one of my favorites. I think that's probably why Carrie put this one up. So this one is the one I like. Obviously, we know where our price range is. And every day what I like it, not every day. But I like to do at least 2 or 3 times a week. I like to go into the entire market, the metro Atlanta area. And I go in and see how many actives there are, how many new listings, how many price changes, exactly what Enrique did today, and how many pending. And what I noticed was exactly what he just said. There's a tick, right? There's an uptick all of a sudden. I was like, oh, check this out. And there's definitely opportunity. But what I like to do it too is when somebody goes, my business is kind of down, or gosh, there's no business. Really? Because the Metro Atlanta has about 13,000 listings available. How many do you have? Right? The FMLS says that there's about 35, actually it's over 4,000 now pending. How many of those are yours? So when we say there's not business, well, there's 4,000 that are under contract. So 4,000 contracts are out there, right? So for me, it's perspective. It's to know there is business. It's just a matter of who's getting it, right? And how do we go about getting it? So that's why I love doing that, and it gives me perspective on where the market is trending up and down, just on the simplest of ways. And you guys can do that too. You guys, and mine's so simple, I have a little sticky and a folder, and every day I just write the same thing. Yes, there could be way better ways to do it, but I just have it in my folder, and I just add a new sticky with the right date, right? So that's how I do it. I'm sure there could be better. Okay, so new listing. This is January, right? Are we looking at, no, this is December.
Oh, sorry, I thought I picked my name. Hold on.
Yeah, this. Okay. All right. Oh, what? January. Ta-da!
hopefully this says January, sorry.
January, yay. Okay, well, ironically, oh no, that number changed a lot. That number was 600 something in December, for 400 to 500. Now it's 1,058 new listings. Active listings is 1,602, and I know I'm in the way. How do I do this without? Here, let me move some chair here. Yeah. I'm not quite in the way. I wish I had a pointer. Under contract, 970 listings under contract. Pending ratio is 38%, 37.7% of them are pending. To Enrique's point, what does that say? They're not pricing right. What is one thing that we would need to do to be able to price it right when we go to the listing? The expectation?
Have a tougher conversation than the person who walked in and said, sure, I'll just get that.
Prove your value over Zillow.
Yes, and yeah.
No
Right?
comp.
Know your comps, know the market. Have a really great conversation and confidence in what you're doing to be able to set the stage, right? To know how to price it right and list with me, right? What if we were able to walk in and know our value, who said that, so well that you're able to set the stage, price it right, and walk out of the door with a signed agreement priced well?
I think a lot of times I've seen in the past couple of years is people, I mean, I feel like we're dropping back to Zillow and making Zillow the expert, right? Zillow said, well, Zillow told me my value is, 658, and all day long, it's not gonna sell over 600. So it knowing the comps and also showing your value and the range and say, I could shoot a dart at it too, but do you wanna sell your house for the highest amount in the shortest amount of time?
Yeah, that's right, that's right. And I think what has happened is through COVID, we did just throw a dart and it actually sold. What is one thing that we actually need to elevate in this market?
Skill.
Oh, thank you. I was like, wonder, I don't know what he's saying. Skill. Our skill, we actually have to get really good at our craft. If we're not really good at our craft, we're just throwing darts. We're just throwing darts. They might as well call Zillow agents, right? No disrespect if you have Zillow, right?
I always tell the group, especially in this market where they're competing with other agents in a lot of the cases, we're all telling them a similar thing, right? Hire me, I'm the best agent, I can sell it for the most money and I can get it sold in the quickest amount of time. So whoever says that better gets the listing.
Yeah.
That's the skill part, right?
Yeah,
But you have to emphasize the fact that we're doing a price strategy.
yes,
This is the value of the home, this is what similar homes
Yeah.
are sold for, but in order to benefit from the market, the way that we have it, this is the strategy that we suggest. And this is the numbers that back that up.
that's right. How many of us are going to preview the other homes in the area before we go into listing?
Exactly.
Good job.
Do you know your comps, right? That's-
Like knowing your
Well,
comps.
do you know?
It's not just going and looking online. How many times have we gone to show a listing to someone, to buyers that we have, and you walk in the door and you're like, oh, this is not at all what it looked like online. So how often could that be true when we go to a listing and say, well, this is your comparables, this is what that house sold for this, and this is what this one's for sale. And they're like, oh no, we've been in that, that's our neighbor's house, it doesn't look at all like that. And they know more than you do at the listing appointment. How many times did that happen to us? Right? Do you need to be better than the seller at your appointment?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's happening is we're showing up and just relying on data on the computer. Well, that's not skill. We've got to actually do the work, prove the value of why they're paying us the big bucks and become the expert in that area. So when they say, here's the 3 properties that are most comparable to yours, and here's why. That one actually has that bedroom, actually it's not quite as great as yours, and this is why, and this, the master, oh my gosh, the ensuite is not so fantastic because the countertops don't look great. They've got cracks in the floor, the backyard slopes down here, da, 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 da. And actually, that one's gonna help sell yours, that's what you want, isn't it, Mr. Seller? Now what happens? You've convinced them because you know the market. You know exactly what that one looks like, why it compares to yours or doesn't compare to yours, and now you're the expert. Right? Now they buy in, hook, line, and sinker, because you sound like the expert. You know the market around you. And that one sold because of this, this, and this, and it compares exactly why, just like yours. And I'm confident we can get you this price. I remember when I was on a listing appointment and I said, I am so confident that I can get you this price without a doubt. And she said, you know why I listed with you? Because you were confident. And actually, you told me you were confident. Not only did you sound confident, but you told me you were confident. How many times are we just saying something and not sounding it, or not saying it and trying to sound it? Right? We gotta become passionate about what we're saying and doing and marrying the two, right? We gotta know what we're talking about. We gotta elevate our skill. All right, I stayed on that too long, sorry. Okay, the month supply has risen. What was it last month? Who said? It was 2.2, right? 2.2 or 2.3? Well, I know, that's okay. But it's now 3. It's now 3 months.
It's 2.7 and 3.3 this month.
Okay. So it's definitely gone up. That's the moral of that story, right? So it's definitely gone up. And then 42% of homes are being price adjusted. That's a lot. That means only 68% of homes are pricing the house right. That's kind of not great. That's kind of not great. And again, we're only talking about 400 to 500 because that's our subject matter. And here we go in when we price it right, 100% of the time we're gonna get 100% of the price right. And this has gone up, because before it was 93.7, I think it was. And now it's 94.1. So it's gotten a little bit better, but now it's 94.1. Oh, and look, 85 days.
I mean, it's right here, let's just look at it real quick.
It was 93.7.
There you go.
Yeah. And look at the days on market, 85 days. So it was 67 days, I think it was, when you don't price it right. So now, not only are you not selling it for more money, you're actually extending the market time. Is that being a fiduciary to your sellers? No. So how important is it to elevate our skills and having better listing conversations? It's pretty important, to the tune of, who can do the math real quick at how much it's costing them? At a $500,000 house, what's it costing them? Which is not really high. What is the dollar amount that we're leaving on the table?
Like 30,000?
That's a lot of money that we're losing our clients when we don't elevate our skill. Is that worth getting on role play and conversation every day? Is that worth having more intentionality around previewing homes in the neighborhood? Is that doing a little bit better job? I remember my team leader at one point in Naperville. He said, how long does it take you to do market analysis when you first, like CMA? I was like, at the time, it was like maybe an hour. He's like, really? It takes me about 8 to 10 hours. It's like, what? What are you doing for 8 to 10 hours? He's like, well, I go preview and I go do this. I go, well, you're probably doing it right. You're probably, you stay with that. That's probably a good thing. But it took him a long time to do a CMA. And that's probably a good thing. Now, maybe it shouldn't be 10 hours, but we should be spending a lot more time than what we are.
Well, if you work in the area, you're going to the open houses and you're previewing properties.
That's right.
The market, even if you don't have any business, then you know the market.
That's right.
But you don't have to see all the comps.
That's right.
But it helps, right?
Well, once you know the area, if that's your niche, if that's your area, once you know it, you don't have to do 10 hours every time. Because you already know it. You just review it. You're like, yeah, that one, I've been to that one. There was a neighborhood that I farmed and I had, every street I had sold a house on, at least 3 houses on that street. So I drive here and I go, I sold that one, that one, I know that one, that one, that. And so I didn't have to spend much time. All I had to do was pull up the clothes. I was like, oh yeah, I got it. It took me about 15 minutes to do it anyway.
Well, you had been in those houses.
I had been in all the
You
houses,
knew what they
right?
looked like, right, and so you could.
I
go
could
do that.
spend just like that, but not most of the time can we go quickly, right? Unless you know it like the back of your hand.
And for my strategy, learn this phrase, it's helping to a long career. The same for less or more for the same is what sells, especially in this market.
That's right, that's right. All right, do we have another one that we want to look at? Anybody else have one that they really want to take a look at? Yes,
One takeaway I really remember from Chart Masters was Leslie was saying that when she speaks to sellers, she said the biggest mistake you can make is when you say, I recommend you price your house. She said, if you say the market.
the market.
Market's telling us that your house is worth between this and this, that way it takes the onus off of you.
That's right.
So if you told us the price at $625 max,
Never pick a solid price. I have taught that all week and at night. You give your sellers a price range. Because the market changes every 30 days based on what a buyer is willing to pay and a seller is willing to sell at. So if you give someone a price of $525, and for some reason the market changed during that time period very quickly, you're on the hook for that. Now you are the problem. So I would always give a range, give somewhere between, I'd say, a 25,000, and put the price you think is gonna be the appropriate price at the top of that, because sellers want the most, right? So if they're looking at you as their fiduciary and they say, well, you're the expert, you give me a number. Fantastic, let me give you one. It's gonna be somewhere between 5 and 525. They're gonna pick 525, obviously. But we want to make sure that they are in the driver's seat. So when it comes back and we say, well, I recommended somewhere between 5 and 525. It didn't sell. And now we need to take a price reduction. You have that leeway there of recommendation.
And I think to Matt's point, it's not us that dictates, right?
Right, and it's the market.
It's the market. So it's creating a way for them to choose what the market is telling us. So I don't create the market, Mr. Seller, right?
And we need to
I just
learn-
interpret it.
We
That's
need to
exactly right.
learn to say that what goes up and down is a price range, not the price of the house.
Right, right.
So.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it is.
Good, good, good. Any other takeaways or questions about that? Okay, we're gonna just jump into awards because I know there's so much more we could say on there, but we have lots of top agents that we want to celebrate. So we're gonna jump into that so we can, so these are January agents. And I know February, we're gonna have a whole bunch more because of all the blue loops. All the blue loops, all the blue loops, Grand Slam. All right, Grand Slam, Allison Edwards, I don't know if you're today. Dallas Natalie, John Dangler, Sharon Dick, Amy Fuchs, James Carswell, Pat Grove, Sophie Liang, Carlos Serralco, JC DeSarwin. How do you say that? DeSarwin, okay. Martha Reyna, Naya, Carlos Vitayana, Jesse Lim, Nancy Minor, and Terry Ehrlich. Okay, all right.
Agents who sold at least $1 million last month.
Go ahead, Terry.
Oh, Sophie Lane, Tony, Lilibet, Debbie Whitehouse, Jane, Kim set the Dare team, Trinity Commercial Real Estate, Patrick, Martha, Rena, and Anderson Chen.
Yeah.
I tried to get rid of the fancy. Last
I know, because they're
my
like,
first time with the numbers. We're going to change stuff a little bit. It's pretty good, agree.
The cheese, I thought, is that Rena?
I have to look at it too, sorry.
Top listing agent, Sophie, Jesse, and Mona. Nice job.
Top listing teams is Nikki Trin Real Estate Group, Hazen Group, and the Coach Conzella team.
And the top listing groups, the Nancy Minor team, Terry Ehrlich Homes, and the People's Agent. Great job, guys.
So this is written, top written agents is Sophie Lane, Lilibeth, and Patrick.
Nice. That means we're gonna see a good February. That's what that means. It's
Yeah.
written, right? The top written team, Kim Adair team, the K-Rose team, and Martha Reyna group.
And then the top written groups is the Trinity Commercial Real Estate Group, that's Craven, the Nancy Minor team, and Smith and Company,
Good job, good job. Closed volume, this is where we get the check. Sophie, Tony, and Little Bev, good job.
And then closed volume teams, we have Martha Reyna, Kim Sedley and Team Integrity.
Great. And volume group, closed volume group, Trinity Commercial, Sweet Home Atlanta, Alabama, Instant.
All right, it's a digital award, so closed unit goes to Sophie Lane at 6. Closed volume, also Sophie Lane at 3,070,000. Listing units, we've tied at 3 with Carlos, Geraldo, Jesse Lynn, and Lou Hernandez. Listing volume, Sophie Lane at 1.6 million. Written units, again, Sophie Lane with 11. Written volume, Sophie's on fire with 6,096,000, and then her GPI was amazing.
Yeah. The team awards, closed units, the Kairos team, Kairos team. The Tamura team had 3, all 3 of them had 3. Nice job. Closed volume, Martha Reyna Realty Group with 1.220 volume, yes, thank you. Listing units, McKee Churns Real Estate Group, who's going to be on stage at Maryland Rand. Okay. Listing volume, McKee Churns Group, which was 842,000. And written, Kim Sutton team and the Tamura team with 4 written units. And written volume, Kim Sutton team, 1.798500. And GCI, the Martha Reyna Real Estate Group, $36,447,000.
Yeah. So group awards, the group team, closed units, Family Homes Georgia at 7.5. Closed volume, Trinity Commercial Real Estate. Listing units, Family Homes Georgia at 6. Listing volume, the Nancy Minor team at 1.15. And then written units, we have Family Homes Georgia again at 10.5. Written volume is Trinity Commercial Real Estate Group at 2.8 million. And then GPI rounded it out with Trinity Real Estate Group at just under 50,000.
Good job. Good job. All right.
So now, congratulations to our award winners for January.
So proud of you. So
Now,
proud of you.
go out and beat them.
Yeah.
Just a couple of announcements. We're still in Ignite. I hope you got my email yesterday. You can come to any class as a refresher. I love seeing agents that don't need the credit, just come and get a refresher. It's the new take on Ignite. You get new people teaching it. If you took it with Melba, you might get something a little different from maybe you teaching today, or Tony's coming up teaching soon with negotiation. Thank you for Heidi for teaching. So you're all gonna get a new perspective, and we all bring things to the table that maybe you weren't aware of. So just pop into any class that you're interested.
Well, and if you haven't had a closing in the last 3 months.
That's right.
Or if you haven't had, any kind of business and you want to boost your business, or if you've had business and you want to boost your business, come to these classes because it's going to re-energize, it's going to reignite your business.
Oh, snap.
So definitely do that.
I was gonna add that Ignite was created by KW for agents to do their first 16 transactions. So if you're at that threshold or below the threshold, this is for your last day.
That's right, that's right. So it takes away the excuses too.
Yep.
If you're like, gosh, I don't know what to do, I don't know who to go to, well, come to Ignite. And it's every day except for Tuesdays, right?
Most days. We're not having on Thursday. We got a packed house on Thursday,
Yeah.
events and classes, but
Yeah.
we're tomorrow at 1 to 3:30, and then Friday is Melba. And I know there has been some situations that's happened recently on contracts, and you should know these contracts like the back of your hand. That's your job. We are not only, the first job is to get into a relationship, and the second job is to negotiate contracts on behalf of your client. So we need to know those contracts. So, and I can say it, I said it last week, if your tushy is in a seat today, it should be in the same seat on Friday. So come to Melvin's contract class, get a refresher, get 3 hours of CE, just don't miss it. And same with the night, like, okay, I know, I'm just, let's just go ahead and teach it now, right here. Okay, running your business like your, run your business like your, a business, it's still going on. I think session 3 is gonna be this Thursday. I have heard some amazing feedback from. the
Anybody
agents.
here that's been attending? Yeah?
I mean, okay, you said, like, it blew your mind last Thursday, did it
Yeah,
not?
last week's was great. The first week was really good. Last week was great. I'm really looking forward to the next 2 weeks. So.
Awesome.
Don't miss that. If you're an agent, and like I said last week, it's free for you. This is free for you. This is a class I paid hundreds of dollars to go to when I got my license. So come to it now. You get a 5-part series, I think. Okay. I already talked about Melba, and then we have, a class in Roswell coming up on the 19th, and it's wealth building. So if you're curious about wealth building and how the wealthy, spend their money and save their money and invest their money, then this is, highly recommended.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Also, we've got coming up, with McMichael and Gray, leads through divorce and death. Yeah. It happens. I mean, Rachel and I are going through a divorce right now. Come to the class. No, she's still mad when I love. Our client is not. So we're going through a situation. So we do have, it's one of the 5, 2 of the 5 Ds, right? We've got 6.
I think they added a 7 too.
No, I just made stickers.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
what are
they
they?
added a 7.
Okay, and then, we have a social media class coming up on the 29th. I know when we, had that survey about training coming out. Lots of people said they wanted classes on social media, so here it is. Please come on February 29th. Strategies to overcome social media anxiety. Who has social media anxiety? These do not, they have. No, that's Lucy. Lucy's the one behind all the posting the website.
She's pushing back in my head, that's why I'm excited.
So we've got that social media class coming for you. Happy hour is back in March. So, Saj in March, and then if you had a birthday, you will get a special invitation to birthday lunch.
And we are having a class, I don't think we put this on here. Did y'all know that real estate is actually a sales job? Yeah?
100%.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna debunk the salesmanship part of real estate. So we're gonna have that class. And it's on the calendar. So I'm gonna teach it and we're gonna talk about the keyword of sales and how we're gonna incorporate that at a higher level in real estate. So, and I know that when I first started in real estate, it was like, no, it's not sales. I'm not doing it. Nope.
We're in a relationship.
And yeah, that's what I was saying. No, I'm in a relationship. I'm not in sales. But guess what? Until we come to peace with sales, we're not ever gonna be able to win in real estate. Plain and simple. You gotta come to peace, you gotta come to grips with sales before you're gonna win at a high level in real estate. So we're gonna talk about that.
Well, when you get it pretty graphic, you can be up on my screen.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, family reunion coming. Who's heard? Woo! Yeah, family reunion coming. Okay, so it's coming. Okay, so family reunion, you still have time to sign up, and if you have signed up, you are invited to these many events, and you probably got an email. They would like for you to RSVP so they know how many to plan for. And you do need to sign up with this QR code to pick the time to go through Meowl. Pick 5:40 and go.
Yeah, pick 5.
And then,
All right, and I just have to tell y'all, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of y'all. I am. So that's why I picked this video for today. All right, I'm done.
okay, I'm gonna try again this week. Last week I had, we don't know this.
You are scary.
I've got to, thank you. Thank you very much. Gonna click this box, and that box. Wait. Yep.
Got it.
No.
Got it. Share.
Okay. Let's do that. All right, here we go.
I'm proud of you. You know it's not easy going after your dreams. Even having the courage to risk it all in pursuit of your dreams. Just having the courage to risk it all while chasing your dream. Let alone fighting through all setbacks, obstacles, and naysayers on the way to your dream. It's not easy. That's why most settle. But you're not like the rest. That's why you're listening to this. And I just wanted to say I'm proud. I wanted to say that because I know most of you may have never have heard that. I wanted to say that not because you need a pat on the back. You're strong enough to succeed without any of that. Just to let you know you are unique. You are a rare breed, a strong individual. Keep doing your thing and don't let anything or anyone stop you from reaching that goal you have.
Sorry for my cheesy video, but I can't help it. I love No.